Hello, everybody, and good evening, and welcome to Mama Christine's podcast, Living Life Through Experience, where I talk to you about life experiences that I have gone through and what I did and how I got through it, and maybe it can help you. And even if I haven't been through the experience, it can still be something out of my own knowledge and learning and teachings over the years that I'm hoping I can help. So today we're going to talk about, anger, resentment, cell memory, and what it does to our body, mentally, emotionally, physically. It's crazy what we put ourselves through based on what we say and what we think. And because as they say, thoughts are things, words are things. And I'm going to give you a couple of books, my own personal suggestions. I use these books a lot. It might be something you might want to look into that can be beneficial for you as well. So of course we're going to start with a card. We got to get a card first. So I'm picking the chakra deck this evening, and let's go. Let's see what they have to say. Da-da-da-da. Forgiveness. Well, that perfect, right? So forgiveness, what does that mean? It means you need to let go. You need to cut the cords of attachment, cut the cords of anger, of sadness, of resentment, whatever it may be. The rhino stands for self-care, nurturing, right? And that's you, right? You're the baby being surrounded and nurtured by the rhino. We need to do that for ourselves. We need to take care of us in order to be able to be healthy, mind, body, and soul, mentally, emotionally, physically, right? And the color of the card is indigo, and indigo is a third eye. And sometimes we just can't see past our anger. We cannot see past our resentment, our sadness, our grief, all those different things. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight, right? What is it? How is it attached? And so on and so forth. Now, I know I've talked a little bit about this before, but tonight I want to get more deeper into it, I should say. So basically, think of this. If you've ever had a discussion, an argument, broken up with somebody, lost your job, blah, blah, blah. There's a million things that can happen that would make you mad, okay? Now, what happens is you have a person, two scenarios, right? You have one person who is like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened to me. Oh, well, it is what it is. Let's get through it. Then you have that other person who goes, oh my God, can you believe what happened to me? That was BS. That was whatever. And frick this and frick that and and every day that same energy. Now, what's the difference between the two? The first one accepted the emotional reaction, processed that emotional reaction, and then let it go so that there's room for fixing, improving, or doing whatever needs to be done for it. The other one is so stuck in the anger and the resentment and the disbelief of what happened that's the only thing they're focusing on. So now what's happening? Now this anger is building up and building up. And therefore, our cells, our human cells, are made of energy. We are made of energy. Everything in the world is made of energy, including this computer that I'm using, okay? Even though it feels like it's hard like metal, it is still energy. It's made of, oh my God, all kinds of atoms and whatnot. It's not a solid thing, but there's just so much of it. It appears to be solid. Quantum physics, crazy thing, I know. So we're not going there, okay? But we get so fixated on that anger and being pissed off and all these different things. What happens now is, because you have so much of it, your body starts to absorb that. And now you have all these cells that are taking in the anger, taking in the resentment, the disbelief, all of those emotional things you're feeling. And it just sits there stored in those cells. And eventually, over time, and even then for some people it takes a long time, it could be years, or sometimes not. Sometimes on their deathbed they're still angry. But anyway, for the sake of conversation, years have gone by and the person has kind of let it go or has moved on from it, but yet never cleared it, never healed from it. Just kind of let it go to the back of their mind, down into the dungeon, right? And now years go by, and then suddenly it's like, oh, I don't understand. I have a UTI. Okay. Oh, I have a bladder infection. There's something wrong with my kidneys. Oh my God, look, I have this rash. It won't go away. Look, I have this. Look, I have that. Oh my God, I have cancer. Oh my God, I have this issue, this disease, this illness. And it's like, why? Why me? Sometimes it's not God saying, no, here you go. Here's a disease for you. Sometimes it's because of everything we hold on to. It affects us deeply within ourselves. And if we do not release and let go of that, what happens is those cells start to manifest into dis-ease, as they say. Not disease, but dis-ease, which means there's a break in the ease of the body, which therefore gives us our English term, disease. Okay? And why does that happen? Why? Because our words are negative, our thoughts are negative, our holding on is negative, and therefore you're feeding your body daily with negativity. And it's like, oh my God, why do we do that to ourselves? And it's like, well, it's reality, it's this, it's that. I'm like, it's real in the moment. It's not real forever. There's a difference. So sometimes, yes, the universe is going to throw you a bone, and it's up to you to either catch it, to let it go, bury it, whatever you got to do, right? And move on from it. So this person who's been holding on to all these things, and again, I know I've talked a little bit about this before, but I want to get deeper into it. In the body, these negative words, thoughts, feelings get buried and embedded into your cells, into your muscles, into everything. And then, yes, I have a bladder infection. Yes, I have a UTI. Yes, there's something wrong with my kidney. Now, those three things I already mentioned right there, that's about, think of it this way, plain and simple, in English, what are you pissed off about? Right? They all have to do with the urine, which is, as they say, piss, right? So, okay, what are you pissed off about? And then at the same time, when you build up so much anger, your anger sets in your liver. So when you're talking about your different organs of your body, your pancreas, which is on your left side, processes your emotions. So as you process them, they process through the pancreas. Now, when you don't process your emotions, they kind of get stuck and bypass the pancreas and go right to the liver. And it all turns into anger. I've done Reiki on people when my hands are on their right side over their liver, and it is screaming in my hands. And I'm like, wow, you got some stuff to let go of. And they're like, yeah, I know I do. But it sets in your liver. Now, I tell people, think about this. Don't hold on to your anger. Why? Because it does set in your liver. And what do you need your liver for? To live. Okay? Your body cannot survive without a liver. Just like you can't survive without a brain or a heart. These things are imperative for you to live. So you have to work on clearing out your resentments, your anger, all those things, grief, sadness. Oh my God, it happened so long ago. You can't change it. So why do you stick with it? It happened, it's done, it's over. Okay? It's like going to see a movie and you're like, I don't like how that movie ended. But you know what? That was the movie. That's what they did. That's how they presented it. Get over it. You can't change that. You can't change what happened to you yesterday. You can't change what happened to you 2 seconds ago. You can't change anything that's already gone and passed. So think about that. And while you're sitting there holding on to this anger, this resentment, this craziness, and it's in your head and it's spinning around like a hamster wheel, the person that's connected to that, or the situation, okay? Because it can be a whole situation as well. That person is walking around clear-minded. They're not thinking about you. They're not thinking about what happened between the two of you. They're not thinking about anything but what's going on in their day. So you are allowing them to live rent-free right here, right? I'm sure you've heard that before. Is that what you want? Or would you prefer that your mind be filled with, oh my God, pleasant things and positive things and loving things and beautiful memories and dreams and goals and, right? That's what we want. But instead, it's like, oh, hey, let's go do this. That's fun. I don't feel like going out today. I'm cranky. Oh my God. Like, so you miss out on life because you're still holding on to the same old crap. Think about that. Let it go. Let it go. If you feel the need that you have to say something, because some people are just like that. They feel like they have to say something in order to expel their anger. Okay, then guess what? Write a letter. Write a letter to that person, to that situation, whatever it is. And I've told you this before. I want you to write it all down. Yell, scream, holler, swear. It does not matter. Get everything that you're feeling out onto this piece of paper, and then take that damn thing outside and burn it. Safely, of course, but burn it. Burn it out of your life. That's the only way you're going to get rid of this. You're going to let things go is by finally taking responsibility, because, the choice is yours. And that's the way we do. Well, I'm angry. Well, good for you. You are choosing. You are choosing to be angry. You are choosing to hold on. You are choosing not to move forward. And some people may argue and say, how am I choosing that? I'm not choosing that. I want to move forward, but I just can't. Because you're not allowing yourself to. There is a process of time that needs to go by, just like grief, for you to get over something, to heal from it, okay? But I'm telling you right now, years, no, not an option. Not an option, not at all. You need to really just let it go. Let it go, okay? So now we're talking about how this affects emotional, physical, and all that great stuff. So anything that goes on with you where you feel so out of sorts, ask yourself why, okay? Why? Well, I mean, here's a reason. Here's a reason. Oh my gosh. Here's an example, okay? So for the past, it's been a couple of years I've been dealing with a sore shoulder. And part of it was like, okay, fine. I had overused my shoulder by painting, because I painted my whole house. Because I owned two properties. I sold one and moved into the other one. And I had to paint the whole thing. And of course I had help, but you're up and down and all the time. It's going to wear on your shoulders. So yes, my shoulders were bothering me, but his shoulders had gotten so much better until recently, where I was working on some money stuff and things hadn't happened yet, and things weren't, I'm like, oh my God, why is it taking so long? Oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh my God, am I going to get the money in time? Oh my God. And I was like, oh my God, listen to me. I'm going cuckoo. And meanwhile, this shoulder is like screaming, and I'm like, wow, it aches. I'm sleeping on it. It aches. I move, it aches. I'm like, oh my God, because I was too much here. And I knew it because as soon as I feel something in my body, I'm going, okay, what am I doing? What am I focusing on or hyper-focusing on that I shouldn't? So this, for me, I don't know how it shows in the camera, but this is my right shoulder. And right shoulder, right side is the intellectual side. That's the thinking, the overthinking. But that shoulder in particular is finance. So here I was worrying about how this financial thing was going to play out for a few months and getting so worked up about it that I was allowing it to affect me. But I would catch myself and go, no, release it and let it go. It's going to work out. It's going to be fine. It's going to process. It's going to be okay, But again, that's the human side. If you can turn your thoughts around, turn your words around, then yes, you can make change. So it's not you're not creating permanent damage, okay? So you want to go the opposite side. Your left side is your female side. Your emotional side, that shoulder represents family. So if you find like, oh, my shoulder, my this, my that, can you overwork it? Of course you can. You can physically overwork it. But why did it happen? Are you that angry with a family member or that disappointed in something that's going on in your family to create that overuse? Right? Think about it. When you're not happy and you're angry or sad or whatever, I have a friend right now going through something, and she's just so like over the top with it and angry that, I mean, she's like, I think if somebody came by to mug me, I would have beat them up to a pulp. And she goes, I wouldn't have felt bad. I'm like, wow. But, I mean, that's just the expression. It's like people get that angry, but we don't let it go, right? You gotta let it go. Stuff happens. So, be mindful of what you're doing. Because again, the universe has a great way of showing us physical pain when we're not mindful. So if you're more in your negative emotions, thinking about what you're upset about, what you're angry about, disappointed about, blah, 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 and you're not focusing and being mindful on what you're doing in the moment, therefore you create an injury. Could be small, it could be huge, but it happens. Again, it's us. We're not focused, we're not mindful. Like, I have this big oversized Whirlpool tub that I'm not very happy with, but I mean, I use it as a shower. I don't use it as a tub. But again, getting into it, sometimes I have to remind myself, be mindful of what you're doing. Keep focused on what you're doing. Because I have gone to step out of the tub and my foot slipped out from under me and I whacked my shin really bad. And all I heard was, you weren't paying attention. I was like, no, I wasn't. I wasn't being mindful. I was in my head. So sometimes these little things that happen, it's just a way for them to say, hey, meaning your guides, your angels, God, creator, universe, loved ones on the other side, whoever. It's like, hey, pay attention, okay? So those are a couple of things, so you can go on, like I said, with the fingers. Your thumb is worry. So if you ever catch yourself just holding your thumb like this, it's because you're worrying. Your pointer is fear. Your middle finger is anger, which makes sense. Your ring finger is grief, and your pinky is pretense or procrastination, however you want to look at it. So, if you notice you're holding to one single finger, or maybe you're holding them all, maybe things are just crazy right now and you're just holding your hands. It's a little bit of everything. Okay, a little bit of everything. And of course, grief, remember, grief is not always just a death of a family member or a friend. It can be a death of anything. A death of a business, a death of a friendship, a death of a job, a death of a person, an animal, whatever, okay? It means an end, okay? So that's grief, is an ending to something or someone. So those are your fingers, your joints, any joint, elbow joint, knee joints, ankles, hip joints, shoulders. If they're always sore and they're always achy, what are you not being flexible about? Because think about it, a joint is flexing, right? So what are you not being flexible about? And again, is it on your right side, which is your male side, your intellectual side? Maybe you're so focused on your right brain thinking that you're not being flexible and open-minded, okay? It's on the male side. Maybe you're not being flexible with a male in your life. Switch it around. If it's the left side, are you not being flexible with a female in your life? Or are you not being flexible with your emotional feelings? Okay, maybe you're just stuck with the emotions of anger or sadness or whatever, and you're not willing to budge yet. Okay, think about those things. Why am I feeling this way? Why does this hurt? Why did I get a cold? How many times, and I'm sure you can all attest to this, how many times have you worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and worked, and it's like, oh, want to do some overtime, want to do this, want to do that, and then it's, oh, home, I got to do this, I got to take care of the kids, and I got a house, and I got this, and I got that, and I got classes, and I got, hobbies, and, blah, 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 pets, and, oh my God, the list is endless, right? And it's like, work, and all you can hear is, you should slow down, Oh, you want to work some more? You in your head go, no, and your mouth goes, sure, okay, yeah, I can do this, and then all of a sudden, you get a cold. You get the sniffles, you get a sore throat, you get a cough, you get sneezing. Oh, you get a fever. Your body will slow you down purposely, whether you like it or not. So when you're feeling like your body's trying to tell you you need to slow down, you need to stop, you need to rest, then be mindful of that, okay? Take the rest when you can, because if not, the universe will make you do it. They're very good at that. Hips are all about moving forward. When you think, your hips move, It's moving forward. Your legs are about moving forward. Your feet are about your foundation, your groundedness, where you stand, those kinds of things, carrying you forward. Again, if you're stuck in the past, if you're stuck with all these old emotions that you're not letting go of, right? That's what happens. So now one of the books that I want to show you, and don't mind my book, I have so overused my book that it's fading in some places and the binding is coming down, but it's called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die by Carol K. Truman. So I'll bring it a little closer. Feelings Buried Alive Never Die, Carol Truman. So what does that mean, feelings buried alive? We've been talking about this since 7 o'clock. When you hold on to negative emotions, they get buried, right? They don't die. So until we learn to release them, let them go and heal from them, they're going to sit there and keep fermenting like grapes for wine, okay? And it's going to come out as some funky kind of dis-ease in your body, no matter how you look at it, okay? What I love about this book is the whole beginning of the book is all about how to talk, how to think without the negative attachments. Because think about this. What happens when you have a headache? You say, oh, I have a headache. So now you've just claimed that headache as yours. It is not yours. It is something you're feeling or experiencing. So if you have a car, you say, I have a car. That means you own a car, right? You own a house. You own a phone, so on and so forth. If you're claiming your dis-ease, then it sticks around. It doesn't leave because it's hearing that it belongs to you. So therefore it sticks around. What you need to, like I said, focus on is shifting your words to, I'm experiencing a headache right now. I'm feeling a migraine. I am feeling aches in my shoulder. I am feeling pain in my foot. Because that's all it is. You're feeling it. It doesn't belong to you. You're just feeling it. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. So therefore what happens is I always say, well, if this is going on, let's look it up. And a lot of times I feel things during Reiki sessions, and then I get the book and I said, okay, I felt something here. Let's see what that means for you. So let's just see. Inflammation. A lot of people experience that. Inflammation, swelling of a knee or ankles, wrists, fingers, whatever, okay? Inflammation, feelings of rage, feelings of anger, feelings of fear. Have you felt that? Have you ever noticed you've been in that zone with those emotions while you had some inflammation? Think about that. Inflammation is a big swollen mess, right? It is holding on to fear and anger and therefore creates inflammation. Think of your body as like a balloon, or your organ as a balloon. And the more you add to it, meaning fear and anger and such, that balloon begins to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And therefore now you have inflammation. Okay? Let's see. Joints, feeling of resentments, suppressing hurt feelings. Oh my God, this book is huge. It really is. Knee problems, unable to be flexible. I mentioned that earlier. Not wanting to bend, okay, usually to authority. Your ego gets in the way, pride gets in the way, or you're being stubborn and only want your own way. If it's your left knee, it is the need to be more receptive to events, feelings of insecurity, experiencing unresolved stress. If it's your right knee, it is the need to be more assertive, not wanting to give in to authority. So again, these are just, different things. I mean, your middle back is lack of support. Lower back is also finance. The tops of the shoulders, tops of the back is the weight of the world on your shoulders, so to say. There's so many different things. I mean, simple things. I mean, psoriasis, emotional insecurity, holding on to feelings of fears that go against you, not speaking your truth, unwilling to be accountable for your own feelings, unresolved, deep-seated hurt. Get it? I mean, oh my God. Postnasal drip, feelings of crying on the inside, inner grief, feeling like you're a victim. Like, again, these are just a few things here and there that I'm reading from this book. So yeah, upper back feels unsupported or burdened emotionally, withholding your love from others, feeling agitated or anxious, feelings of frustration. Your middle back, feeling guilty, lacking self-support, lacking in self-confidence. Lower back, feeling unsupported financially, experiencing fear where money is concerned, wanting to back out of something, in a relationship that hurts, running away from a situation. Oh my gosh, like just bedwetting. I bring this up because one of these makes sense. Not for me personally, but for somebody I know. Feelings of fear towards a parent, usually the father. Totally on point. Let's see. Bones, broken bones, feelings of separation, feelings of resentment, rebelling. The feeling nature is very obstinate or fixed. Oh my gosh. Again, I could go on and on and on and on. Anxiety. A lot of people in today's generation have massive anxiety. Feels unable to call the shots in life, feels boxed in, feels helpless to affect change. And of course, anxiety is about worrying all the time and being in the future instead of in the present moment. Just like depression is living in the past. You know, it's got to go. You got to let it go. I'll read just a couple more and that'll be it. But let's see. Allergies. Fears of sharing feelings with people, feeling stifled, denying one his own power, suppressed weeping, imitation of substitute for colds. Oh my goodness. Acne. Brought this up to a couple of younger people I knew a few years ago. Acne, feelings of guilt, feelings of self-rejection, like disliking of self, disowning what's happening in life or being in denial, unwilling to face up to an issue. Addictions, I'll read that one because I know a lot of people have that. And of course, an addiction can be anything. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean it's smoking or drinking or whatnot. It could be shopping, it could be attitude, it could be behaviors, it could be all kinds of things. But addiction is a distorted memory in the DNA, unable to think rationally, unable to perceive clearly and correctly, disapproval of self, running from self, feelings of self-rejection, feelings of despair, feeling a void in the soul, wanting to avoid feeling altogether. You know, so again, it's just, but a lot of these things can be shifted and can be changed. It's just, we've got to like change the way we talk about ourselves, the way we hold on to things, the way we think. You know, if we make a mistake right away, I'm so stupid. Why was I such a dummy? What is wrong with me? I can't do anything right. I mean, hear all that negativity? I mean, I know when somebody talks negative about me, I feel it. So imagine saying it about yourself. You're putting yourself in such an energy that just is awful. Let's see. Yeah. So many of you who have seen me before or listened to me before, basically, I mean, the biggest words you could ever use in this language of ours is I am. They're two of the smallest, yet the two of the most powerful words you can use. I am beautiful. I am healthy. I am incredible. Okay? I am having fun. I am healthy. I am seeing things clearly. I am releasing and letting go of what no longer serves me. I am healing. I am healing. I am releasing. I am letting go. Right? I am yourself to death. Seriously. Okay? But yeah, those two little words can change the energy within your mind and within your body so much. It's incredible. It truly, truly is. So, keep that in mind when you're like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. I'm like, no, I just made a mistake, but I am learning from that mistake and I am moving forward. Turn it around. Turn it around. But again, this book talks all about how to think, how to talk, how to change your words, how to present your words and thoughts in ways that is more positive than negative. Okay? Because again, it's don't claim anything that you don't want. If you're angry, yeah, most of the time, what do we say? Yes, I'm angry. Okay? Yes, I am feeling angry, and yes, I am pushing through it. And yes, I'm letting it go. And I know it's a whole big change. And we're not used to that. We're always just used to I have, or I am, and whatever it is, negative or positive. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of that as you go about your day, and your week, and so on and so forth. Catch yourself when you're saying I have, or I am negative, or I am angry, I am whatever it might be. Yeah, it's just wild. It really is. So again, being mindful on what you're doing in the moment of every moment. It's also about, okay, so now I understand about the positive, negative, the thinking, the thoughts, the words, how I should approach that. Now, how do I let go of all my old stuff? Well, first of all, depending on how old you are, and I've said this before, personally, like for me, 58. Okay, do I have 58 years worth of stuff built up? No, because I started 20 years ago working on myself. So therefore, I had 38 years of life that I lived before I found out about all this and how words and thoughts were affecting me. So yeah, I wasn't going to change 38 years overnight. But I made the choice that I'm going to work on it. And guess what? If you have a day and you're being pissy and angry and you're like, I don't care, whatever, then guess what? Have your day. It's fine. You're a human being. We all are. And we're not perfect, and we're not going to get it right the first 10 million times. We're just going to keep going until we get it right. And even once you get it right, you think today after 20 years I don't get mad? I do get mad, okay? The difference is I don't hold on to that anger like I did years ago. Now it's kind of like I get angry, I process, I let go. So it's kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. What the hell am I supposed to do with this? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'll just make the phone calls, do what has to be done. It is what it is. It's over. Boom. See? Bing, bing, bing. So that's the difference. It's never that you're ever going to be perfect. It's not that you're never going to get upset. It's just that you're going to learn how to deal with it in a different way. It's really what it is. Okay? So practice that. Practice, practice, practice. That is life. Life is a practice. From the day you're born to the day you die, life is a practice. There's no getting around that. You're here to learn lessons, learn them. If you fall down, get back up. You fall down 8 times, get back up 8 times. You know what I mean? It just keep going. Don't give up. Don't give up. You have a day, have a day. Have a moment. When the moment's done, keep going. Okay? Because the worst thing that we do to ourselves as human beings is give up the minute it goes wrong, or the minute it feels like it's not working. Everything works if you give it the time to work. Not everything is instantaneous, and I think that's where we get in trouble. Is right away it should, I'm going to be positive, so boom, my life should change just like that. And it's like, no, it doesn't change just like that. It takes time. It's a continuing thing. It's a new way of living. Okay? Think about when you go on a diet, okay? Sometimes it's not always the dieting part that gets you. It's having a way of living a healthier lifestyle. So a new way of eating, okay? It's not that you're dieting. You are choosing to eat differently. That is something that's more healthy for you, okay? Because again, sometimes we say that word diet and right away our body freaks out. Oh my God, I'm going to starve to death. I can't have anything anymore. And the more you tell something or someone you can't have, then the more they want it. So therefore, the diets don't always last. So this is when you say, no, I'm creating more healthy habits. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it's about that, and of course, if that's what you want to create, that's what you're going to have at some point as you practice that. And then if you have a day where you weren't as healthy, so what? It's a day, it's a moment. Nobody in the world ever said you can't have a cupcake, right? So just keep that in mind. Life is not about being perfect. Life is about doing the best that you can and moving forward. That's really what it is. Letting go of the past, living in the moment, not worrying about the future. So one of the other books that I wanted to mention, very worldwide known, is Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. Same thing. Louise talks about holding on to negative feelings, thoughts, words, creates physical illness. And the difference between this book and Louise's book is Louise not just says, oh, okay, if you have a backache, it means this. She'll also give you the affirmation to change the way you're thinking or feeling. So middle back, lack of support, right? So her affirmation would be, I am supported in all ways, right? A positive affirmation to counteract what's going on. There's so many different things you can do as well. You can meditate. You can find a healing meditation. Again, I truly am a firm believer, a big believer in mind over matter, okay? Again, if your mind is always on, oh my God, I'm so sick, I'm so sick, I'm so sick, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. Yeah, you know what? We're all going to die someday. But it doesn't mean it's going to be now, okay? I was in the hospital. I volunteered in the hospital for 6 years doing Reiki, and I can tell you that the patients going through cancer who said, well, it is what it is, just one day at a time. I just come back every week like I'm supposed to, do my treatments, and hope for the best. And eventually it was like they were gone. It's like, where are they? Well, they finished their treatments. They're doing well. It's like fantastic. Then you got the other people who just cried they were going to die. They were going to die. They were going to die. And then one day, sure enough, they weren't there anymore. Excuse me. So it does happen, So be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. So yes, do your best. Do your best. But it is a lot about mind over matter. So do a healing meditation. And a healing meditation can be just that. Going into a meditative state to the best of your ability. And yes, you're going to have things floating in and out of your mind. Let them go. It comes in, let it go. Or listen to a guided one on YouTube or something, or one of mine on our website, sistersofsolace.net. There's a page on there for meditations and such that you can listen to. And, just work on bringing healing energy into that space. If you always look at it as being perfectly healthy, you're creating that energy. So if you see yourself in meditation, say like in your bedroom, and you're looking in the mirror, instead of seeing yourself sick, see yourself healthy, see yourself glowing, see yourself vibrant, right? Whatever it may be. If there's a specific area on your body, like say there was a cut on your cheek, don't see the cut, see the perfect cheek, right? No marks, no nothing. Nice and smooth, nice and clean, nice and healthy, right? Where you put your mind where you put your mind is where you're going to be. There's so many stories I've heard of people being in a hospital and doctors telling them you're never going to walk out of here. And they're like, frick you, I'm not walking out of here. And because they were so headstrong on walking out of that hospital, they made that choice to believe they were walking out of that hospital. And through meditation, through intention, through whatever, it happened. It happened. Anita Morjani died. She was in her hospital bed dead, talking to Jesus. And he says, are you ready to go back? Because now you've got to tell people what this is all about. Every bit of all her organs shut down, everything shut down. And she came back healthier than she was before she even got sick. And now she goes around the world talking about her story, writing her books. And again, it's here. It's the mind. The mind can do so much. So much. So yeah, of course, we probably have a lot of belief systems that were instilled in us as we grew up, which tell you you can't do that. You can do it. You can do anything you want. You really can. I get myself through dentist appointments every 6 months because I can honestly say, and I hate this because I do like my hygienist and the people that work there, but the scraping, I just can't. It just drives me insane. But I go there and I set my tone. It's like, it's pain-free, it's quiet, it's stillness, it's meditative, it's perfectly fine. And I don't even feel half of what they're doing, honestly, because I put my mind elsewhere. So start training your mind to go in the direction you want it to go in. Do some meditation to release and let go of old pain, old hurt, old anger, resentments, whatever it is. Write a letter to that person or that situation that you've really been holding on to all this time that you're not letting go of. And then again, safely take that thing out and burn it, right? Get it out of your life, burn it, gone, burn it out of your life. And anything you do, positive affirmations, start changing things, moving in a different direction, doing what you got to do. Seriously, you have to do it. Again, it's about forgiveness, right? Letting it go. Forgiveness doesn't mean, it was fine what you did to me 20 years ago. No, it's like, you know what? I'm cutting the cords of that attachment of anger that I'm still holding on to from that situation 20 years ago so that I can have a clear mind, clear body, clear soul, and move forward. I'm allowing myself to heal. Make the choice. If you're stuck, you're allowing yourself to be stuck. Make the choice. So let's finish up, right? Boom. Impartiality. So right now, you might be here. Like, I don't know. Which side do I take? This side or that side? Because it's a gray card, which means it's the unknown. Do I go this way or do I go that way? How about you just stay right here in the middle and keep a balance of life? Emotionally and mentally, keep a balance within life. It doesn't serve you, let it go. It doesn't help you at all, let it go. You're holding on to it from God knows what, let it go. Move forward. Move forward. Don't just sit there and be impartial and go, whatever. No, move forward. Move, 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 move. So there you go. There you go. Sorry. I try to get it in there so you can see it. It's faith. Okay? So it's about having faith that everything's going to work out. Again, faith is your heart. But faith also is here. Saying, thinking, all of it in a positive way that it makes your heart happy. I have faith. Everything's going to work out. I have faith. We're moving forward. I have faith. I'm going to heal. Trust, believe, release, let go, and heal. That's really what it is. So, with that being said, that is this week's talk. I'm glad you're here. I'm very grateful for everybody who watches. And again, if you have somebody that who could benefit from listening to this podcast, then by all means, share it, okay? I'm not looking for shares to make all kinds of followers and all kinds of money. I'm looking for shares to find more people that I can help heal, because that's really what it's about. For anybody who knows me, the last thing on my mind is the money. It really is. It's just, who can I help? What can I do to help? And how can I make it happen? That's really what it's about. And, and that's why I say just, all I ask is that you share it, because everybody needs words of wisdom now and then. And again, a lot of what I talk about to you guys is everything I've already been through. So I know from experience how these things work and how they can work. I know where they came from. I know where they're going, the whole 9 yards. So again, please, you may not agree with everything I say, but I always say one thing. I love Sylvia Brown when she was around. It was like, take what you want and leave the rest behind. Truly. So some things may resonate with you, take them. Some of the things don't, just leave them for now. Maybe sometime later on they'll resonate, and if they never do, they don't. But do your best. Do your best and do what you believe is best for you. So again, thank you so much. It's been a nice talk again this week, and I look forward to talking to you again next week. All right, guys, have a great night, and we'll see you soon.